Still no caution. Maybe the car kept going hard into the fence.
And welcome back, everybody. Sorry about the hiccup there. We apologise for that one, but we are back here live on Checkered Flag E-Streaming. The race is underway indeed, and leading at the moment is Dave Douglas, I believe.
I think I got magnets on
That's absolutely correct, Carl. We had Dave Douglas now leading. We had Ruben Phelps lead after qualifying, took the checker flag, led the first 1 or 2 laps. The guys moved up on him. We then had a car heavily into the wall, crossing the start-finish line, but no caution came out. And I'm not quite sure which car that was. But everything's staying green. We've got Dave Douglas leading, JCW ranked second, and Ruben Phelps in third position.
Beautiful. And yes, okay, we apologise about all the problems there. We're having one of those nights tonight where everything that can go wrong has gone wrong, but it is myself, Carl Wilkinson, with you up here in the commentary booth with not Dave Douglas, Brad Allison, and we should hopefully have Mark back in a near future as well. But we've gone caution-free, and look, it's looking good at the moment, and we've got a little bit of action just behind as well, with Ruben Phelps and Toby Stent at the moment battling it out on track.
Yeah, it's a good battle. Rubes has just dropped back. I said it led comfortably the first couple of laps, so I think Ruben's gone into tyre-saving mode at the moment. The guys could get somewhere between 60 to 65 laps on a tank of fuel, so if it stays green, it's going to be about preservation of tyres. Yeah. And sorry, Carl, just as we speak, Toby Stent has just gone around Ruben Phelps, so Rubes is really saving, because I know he can drive a lot quicker than he is at the moment.
It. And we should have Mark on comms as well. Mark, how are you going, mate?
Yeah, good. Not a real good day today, I don't think. I might go back to bed and get out out of bed the other side.
Go around the gatepost a few times. I think that's needed. It's been one of those starts. Now, apologise about the overlays as well. You'll see a couple of Performance E-Streaming logos up there. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's just we've had to switch to the backup old version. So apologise if some of these things are a little bit out of date tonight.
I don't mind us using the old stuff. It means I'm a little bit younger, Carl. So I'll go with that.
So just looking through the field at the moment, we've got Russell Bracker in pit lane at the moment. He had an early moment into the wall, didn't he?
Okay, I wasn't sure what driver it was. Said it was all happening fast. I was trying to watch the lead car just so I could get the people up to date. So it was Bradker that went into the wall. He hit it very hard. It was not a soft brush. It would have pancaked the whole side and possibly a little bit of front end damage there.
See if we can get a replay on that one. See if things are working. Oh, that was a little bit behind. This is the incident here with Bradker, the back end stepping out on him, and a big tank slapper up into the wall for Bradker. That is a painful one indeed.
Yeah, as I saw, that left rear tyre actually got in the air when he hit that wall, so you know when that happens that it's a pretty solid hit. We seem to have just Dave Douglas and JCW just happy at the moment, maintaining position. I think everybody is probably now looking at tyre preservation. I think JCW will want to get around Dave Douglas here and try and lead a lap.
That's it. We should have live timing up as well. The link should be in the chat channel, I believe, if you want to click on that one to get all the latest details on where everybody is sitting as you watch the watch from home, of course. And a big thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. A big thank you for sticking with us as we got our teething problems out of the way and we're getting into this race now. It is Dave Douglas in the 10 leading.
Yeah, Dave's led, I think, from lap 3 onwards so far, and we're up to lap 15, so there, I don't think anyone's trying too hard to catch him or challenge him. I think it's just bide time. I am sure JCW will at some stage want to try and make a move and get around to at least pick up that bonus point for leading a lap. We saw from last week just how important bonus points are going to be, whether you're gaining or losing them.
Oh, a big instant further down the pack. It was Brett Campbell getting caught with that one. Let's see if we can catch out what happened there. We saw the aftermath of the 015. Looks like all contact between himself and Lachlan Urquio, catching the very Golden Octopus Foundation number 015 there and launched him into the wall. That's some damage to the front of that car. Hopefully not too much. Hopefully it won't be terminal. But the 42 of Lachlan Urquio is in pit lane, and that looks like it might be over and done with.
Derek, I've got to go to pit.
Yeah, and I've just heard on the in-car chat that he does have to go to the pits. Brett's got to have to go to the pits, which is a shame because Brett, that car was looking sensational today when we all saw it on Facebook, that new paint job. But yep, I guess that's one way to get some screen time. Put it hard into the wall.
A big shame there for Brett Campbell, and that is a tough one too. You may hear the
boys, I got caught up in the other two's wrecking.
Drivers radio over the broadcast at the moment, and I will quickly switch that off just because the drivers tend to be a little bit naughty on the radios sometimes, so do forgive me for bringing up the settings here.
Absolutely. No, I think that's an absolute necessity, Carl, at times. Hot heads, I mean, it's not a short track, but people can lose their temper, and we certainly don't want the youngsters to be hearing what can happen.
That is it. We've got young, fresh ears on the broadcast. We've got to be careful with that one. So, it is Dave Douglas in the lead. Reese May looks like he also has had to come into the lane with some damage on that car as well. So, Reese May, Brett Campbell, Lachlan Urquio and Russell Bratka at the moment, all in pit lane for some repairs.
And Carl, just I think we said earlier to the people, I believe we said about tyres and so forth, I'm looking now and they've actually been allocated 6 sets of tyres in total. So again, one extra set than we probably said if we told the people 5, because we were told it was going to be 5 sets of tyres this week, but Santa's come early or late and they've got an extra set of tyres there.
Extra set of tyres up your sleeve is never a bad thing to have. Good battle here with Stevie Dubb and Daniel Hellerscheid, and that will just allow the drivers just to push a little bit harder in these stints and do a little bit more damage to the tyres. Of course, if it remains green, they're not going to want to come down pit lane though, because that will cost them a lot of time. It's very easy to drop down a lap when you come through pit lane.
Yeah, if, we can only cross our fingers and hope it goes green, because that'll be exciting in car, because as I said, somewhere between 60 to 65 laps per tank of fuel. You can work that out with a set of tyres. That final drive off, if it stayed green the whole way, would be absolutely sensational about who can stretch the fuel the most. The tyres would be the worry, it's that fuel.
That is it. Not the, just top 3 here on screen at the moment is Dave Douglas, Toby Stent and Joshua Carroll Walden on the side of your screen. That's our top 3 at the moment in this race, and it's been a relatively calm night at the front. They've been pushing but not too hard.
I've got to laugh, guys. Dave Douglas said before we went into the race, oh, don't worry about me, I'm not that quick in these cars. Well, he's definitely proven people wrong.
If
Well,
Dave
he's proven himself wrong.
If Dave is saying, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not that quick," that means he's going to be faster than A
That's
weasel
exactly
with a
right.
fireworker up its bum.
Absolutely. You could call it Dave Douglas, put a tail on it and call it a weasel. I absolutely don't believe a word Dave says.
No, learning that very quickly with Dave.
Sorry, I'm not kidding. I just hit the wrong thing on my wheel.
No, Dave is an actual sensational guy. Great driver, really decent, nice bloke, down to earth, straight up and down, and yeah, couldn't get better. Decent bloke. I pushed Dave once to a win on a super speedway, and we've never forgotten each other. And, you know, I did the right thing by him, and he's always done the right thing by me. He's a great guy to drive around and talented.
Just looking down the field at the moment, Matty Ray up in 9th position, Nathan Button in 10th. We've got Joey Schultz in 7th and Adam Lone in 8th. And a few people just cruising around at the moment, not pushing too hard, and they know it's a long race, so they're just saving up their goodies for the latter stages of this race.
Yeah, definitely. And you just mentioned Matty Ray, Carl. His luck turned around for him in the ASCC race on Thursday night. He's been having terrible luck in both the Warriors and ASCC, and he actually got a top 10 finish. So he'll be looking at backing that up tonight.
I was about to say, I don't think he'll necessarily say his luck's changed, because he did get caught up in a wreck in that one as well. He managed to get there at the end, though, to get that top 10. I think that will help him out a little bit with the just feel like the monkey's off his back. Up the front, Toby Stent is just taking the lead of the race, just getting past Dave Douglas, and he's got teammate Daniel Hedderscheid in just behind him as well. So Douglas in a bit of a sandwich at the moment.
Yeah, I think Carl again. Dave has led a few laps. I think he'll be now backing off, and he'll be tyre preservation and fuel preservation. See if he can squeeze an extra lap out if it stays green the way it's going.
Just update, boys, on the Golden Octopus car. Brett Campbell, he's heading out of pit lane, so he's got his repairs done and on his way.
See that car just heading out there. Of course, if you want to help support the fight for cancer, head over to Golden Octopus Foundation, a fantastic group there that help with the battle against childhood and all cancers. So we very much like to support that car because it is a very worthy cause indeed.
100%. Great to see him back on the track, 9 laps down, but still out there battling, and that's exactly the fight goes on. You know, for the kids and for the car, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, Brett doesn't have an ounce of giving up in him either.
Saying hi,
He will
leaders, when you
keep
get
up
to
there, as well as, for some reason, my driver chat is still talking away for me, and I can't seem to get it to close, so that's fun. So hopefully the drivers will be.
If you're on corrective, mate, you'll probably pull away.
Oh, glad it's not a short track, Carl.
I'll be ready with the bleeps.
Time delay, exactly. 100%. No, at the moment everyone's been pleasant. Said nothing. You know, there's been a few incidents out there, but nothing too drastic, and there's certainly no heat under anyone's collar.
And just looking at the times at the moment, it is still very close up the front. Half a second separating at the top 3, just 1 second separating the top 5, and 2 seconds separating the top 4 and 5. 2 seconds separating the top 5 at the moment. Some good battles going out on track at the moment though. Back here, Nigel Patton with Adam Airy and Ross Chayton, Ryan Anderson as well. A couple of rookie up there as well. One of our rookie drivers for the year, Ross Chayton, and he's had some fairly decent runs recently, and he's going to be hoping for another one tonight.
Yeah, the mid-pack is always congested and always the action place to keep an eye on, which is terrific. All the drivers out there are talented, but the mid-packs, one's moving forward and some moving back, so now we'll start to see those who've looked after the tyres will start to move forward, and those who haven't, who've abused the tyres, overheated them, not so much worn them, will start to drop back a little. It'll be a good thing to see what happens.
Indeed. So we're looking at the number 24 here, Ross Chayton, in a very pretty looking car as well. And again, big shout out to all the drivers, all the livery creators out there. Some very pretty cars out tonight, and well, they're doing them justice at the moment. They're keeping them clean.
Yeah, definitely are. I think they want to get their points. We had a couple of guys last week not get to that 50% race distance, so they weren't classified as a finisher. So it looks like everyone's behaving themselves and wants to get the points tonight. At the moment, we've only lost Lachlan. So
Sorry,
he's
something's just happened to the number 10, Dave Douglas here. He has dropped off the pace and possibly some kind of damage. Let's see what's happened here. Try and catch a replay here of the number 10.
Yeah, replay coming. Oh, there we go.
Big tank slapper there. That is why that car is going slow. That's a lot of damage on the front end.
Yeah, it is, Carl, and that's again probably just those tyres getting a little bit hot. With only 33 on the board, they're not going to be worn out. They're just probably overheating a little bit, and that's what happens. Just a little bit much throttle on the hot tyres, and you're chasing it. Thank heavens for the safer barriers, so we know he'll be all right.
Yep, he'll be okay. His car may not be, though. He's in pit lane at the moment, and looks like he's getting some repairs done.
One little blink in the last 10 or 15 laps, mate, so it looks alright.
Yeah, the two big damage out there obviously was the car and the Pride, but Dave will be all right. I think Dave will get back out there.
So that leaves Toby Stent at the moment in the lead of the race. He is up there in the 189, just ahead of Daniel Heddershide, Ruben Phelps, Stevie Williams, Joshua Carroll-Walden, Joey Schultz, Maddie Ray, Adam Malone, Nathan Button and Mark Smith. That's our top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, it is, and as we saw from our pulse at Ruben Phelps, dropped down to I think about 7th at one stage and now back up into 3rd position, and that's what we're talking about, tyre preservation. He's now starting his march forward once again.
He's selling some good laps at the moment, the Flying Kiwi, the 0.6 there, and yeah, he's closing at the moment.
But Ruben needs a good finish, Carl. After last week, he didn't finish where he wants, and he wasn't happy. Not his fault at all, so he really want a solid, good finish tonight. Definitely a top 5, but I think Ruben will want to win tonight, or at least a top 3.
Absolutely. We'll jump on board with Ruben here and see how that is going. So, talk us around a bit for a lap of Kentucky.
Yeah, well, what you've got, as for the viewers at home now, you can see what it's like in a car. We've got different degrees of banking. So when we go into the front stretch, it's 0, so it's nice and flat. We'll then go into turns 1 and 2, which has got a 17 degrees, which is 3 and 4 at the moment. But 3 and 4 has a 14-degree banking. And as we hit the start-finish line there, it's a nice D shape, this oval, what we call tri-oval, but a D shape. So this is going through the D. Now, here coming into 1, you're going to be high. Now, you can stay high if you want, trying to save tyres, or you'll come down low, which will be a little bit quicker. This is the maximum banking here we've got, and the banking there is 17 degrees. We then get onto the back straight. It's nice and flat, as I said, before going once again into that 14-degree 3 and 4, which is where you'll see everything goes wrong here for people, because you're used to coming off 17 degrees banking. You're suddenly hitting fast speed because you've gone up that back straight and you've only got 14 degrees, and that's why everybody clouts the outside wall there. The car just pushes up and you can't work out why until it's too late.
Absolutely, and well, we saw that a little bit earlier on with Dave Douglas having that big slap of oversteer, understeer, and then a big clatter onto the wall, and it is so easy to have that happen. These cup cars are very easy to have mistakes happen on as well. They're not a forgiving car. We've got some great battles going on down towards the back of the pack. We've got Ryan Anderson, Brad Fenway, Kobe Jordan, Tristan Koch, Jason Nichols all up in this group battling to get into the top 20 at the moment.
Yeah, great battle there for the top 20 going on at the moment. It's fantastic. Different lines. You can see there different drivers taking different lines. It's quite amazing where different drivers feel comfortable on the track.
See that Brett Campbell as well, he's a couple of laps down, but he's fighting to try and get some of those laps back as well, and some good two-wide action here as well. With sort of Kentucky can be a bit of a single line racetrack.
Yeah, it can be, especially on worn tyres. The fastest way is just to get in place, go, okay, I don't want to hit that fence, I'm going to drop into line, stay behind, get some draft, save the tyres, and, make an attack once we've pitted and we've gone on, or a caution comes out, we've gone from there. I do have to say, Carl, that this track has changed, not the track's changed, but this next gen car has changed the way some of us drivers attack this. In the old days with the old car, the Gen 6 or something, we would have all been nose to tail, running up high by now and doing that. But you'll still see here, some cars are right down on that line, which we never would have been doing after this many laps on worn tyres, 42 laps on worn tyres. We all would have been just running the high line, waiting for 4 fresh good years.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we're starting to get to that point where pit stops are going to be an option in the near future. We had Jake Sampton and Jai Schultz coming into pit lane. So a couple of people decided to come into pit road, down pit road a little bit earlier. That's going to change things up. And I have just noticed we've not got Andrew Dyson out there tonight. He's in the chat. So don't have him out on the track, but we do have him in the chat watching along tonight. And look, it's going to be an interesting one for those green flag stops, of course.
Yeah, shame we don't have Dyson out on the track. He's always a good one to watch. Show them how it's supposed to be done. That's for sure. He's not many like him. One of a kind.
No, absolutely, he's a very quick driver, and it's frustrating sometimes when you're behind him because he is that quick.
The only time I'm in front of him is when he's about to overtake me.
I've just been able to get hold of Dave Douglas, and
Hello,
I can
Brett.
tell you now that right front car of that car is extremely heavily damaged, and I
Thank
think,
you.
as I'm saying this, he may have parked it and taken it behind the wall. So that's not over for Dave.
Oh, that is a shame to lose a very fast car this early on, and well, he might have been talking himself down because he was not quite comfortable in the car. Maybe that is why he just got caught out there by a big snap, and that was his night over and done with.
Reece Mace just had a big moment coming out through the D out of turn 4 there. So he's dropped to the low line, and it was very bad for him.
Okay, he managed to get away with that without triggering anything on the screen though, so he's got away with that one. He won't have to suffer that one by the looks of it on the broadcast.
Yeah, and Carl, I've got to say, in doing the maths and doing the points, I reckon about pretty soon I'd be pitting. I think lap 50 has got to be my mark. There's no way, no matter, and we all know I get in the car straight away and think conserve, shut the car down, like do everything to try and save fuel. I don't think there's any way I could make it on 3 stops, so I know I'm going to do a 4-stop run. So to me, it's 50 laps, 4 fresh good years.
Absolutely, just gives you a little bit of extra towards the end as well, just in case we see one of those green or white checkers appear. And it might not be, might not even appear tonight, as we've had a good run of green. We're 47 laps in at the moment.
No, 100%, Carl. But as I say, by doing the 50s, if we're doing the stops at 50s, even at the end, if we got 2 green white checkers, which is what we allow in this league, you could do 65 laps. So that gives us 15 extra laps, which is perfect for 2 green white checkers under caution and so forth.
Great action here. Ross Shane, Adam Ariel, Nigel Patton, Brad Fenley, Kobe Jordan, all battling it out. And these guys have been battling it out since the beginning of the race. And they've been fighting very hard, lap after lap after lap. And we've not seen any contact. This is exactly what we love to see in the oval racing leagues. And it's what we come to expect a little bit in the Australian oval racing community. We've got some very talented drivers out there, and they are capable of doing it lap after lap, side by side, and not having wrecks. And we're seeing it right now with one of the newer drivers, one of our rookies, Ross Shankton up there. But he's having a really good run at the moment and really racing hard with some of these guys.
Yeah, and we've got, it said, everybody running around there. Your Nigel Pattons, Parrys, Adam Ariels, Kobe Jordans, everyone running close. No one, bringing out cautions. It's great drivers, great ability.
Paying attention where you were.
I'm just going back and having a look at these times, Carl. We're definitely not going to see no record broken tonight. The race record at the moment is a 3.8 set by JCW last year. Maybe we might see him get a bit closer once they go onto that fresh rubber.
Yeah, well, the sun will be setting soon, and things will be starting to get a little bit quicker.
Zero will be pitting at the end of this lap.
A bit of a moment.
Just heard over the radio, Kobe Jordan is in at the end of this lap.
Okay, let's jump on board with Cobes right now, and we'll jump in with the gyro cam here and get a bit of an idea of what happens in a green flag stop. And you'll see Kobe Jordan he'll be glancing up into his mirror. He'll be thinking about when to duck into pit lane, and he's just got to hit those marks perfectly. You've got to be careful not to lock the brakes when you come in. Get it down to the right speed, which he's doing right now.
This lap.
Here for your other drivers popping up on the radio as well, just saying they're about to pit as well. And now it's a matter of hitting your marks, getting in pit bay. And it looks like Kobe has done that perfectly. Right side will go up. Fresh set of boots on there. Left side will go up. And then he'll be trundling down pit lane very, very shortly.
I'm sorry, Carl, I was just having a little chuckle to myself. As you said, as the left go up, I was imagining him driving out and only taking the rights. It's been that type of night, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Everything is possible now. Exiting pit lane, and he'll be coming back out there. And you've got to be careful when you exit pit lane, of course. The tyres are very cold. It's very easy to spin them up and have a bit of an accident.
Yeah, it is, Carl, but give him 1.5 laps and he's going to feel like God's looking after him. That car is going to be suddenly feeling so much better than it was feeling before he went into pit lane.
Just looking at the timing at the moment, Kai Turner, Damien Nankervis is on his way out of pits, JCW's in pit lane, Nathan Button's in pit lane. So some of these guys are really starting to think about that 4-stop, I'd say, Brad.
I think so, Mark. I think they're all listening to the stream and everyone is right. We can't do it in 3. We're going to do 4. We may as well go into lap 50.
Even trying to save, I don't think the guys will be able to save enough to get them home on the 3-stop. Maybe if we have some cautions, then yes, maybe you'd be able to do it in 3, but it's a big ask to save so much fuel.
Yeah, and of course if we have a caution, Mark, everyone's going to go in for tyres, so you're going to take fuel while you're in there, so no. It's definitely, I don't believe it can be done, and I hope someone proves me wrong. I truly do. I don't believe it can be done on 3 stops. Well, it can be done on 3 stops, it can't be done on 2 stops, of course.
We're just seeing here, Brad, as Kobe on that fresh rubber is really closing in on Daniel and Toby Stentz. So he's going to unlap himself, so that'll be good for him.
Yeah, he's got 5 laps of what we call God mode. He feels like nothing can touch him. It's just absolutely out there.
Sorry, actually I've made a boo-boo there. He's unlapped himself, but he's still a lap down, so he's out through that pit stop. He's gone 2 laps down.
Yeah, and that's crucial information. You're going to lose 2 laps if you're sitting down the field a little bit. Obviously, it's a very short track here at Kentucky, so it is easy to have those laps disappear on here. But Kobe and Toby, there we go. That's a nice one to tongue twister me. But Kobe back with just 1 lap underneath his belt. Won't be long until he's back on the lead lap, and he could have jumped a lot of positions in this run.
Sorry, Carl, I've just seen, looking at the clock going further down, JCW's down 3 laps. I've been trying to work things out in the background here. Did he have an incident?
You'll have to go back and look at that one, Mark, because I can't see on my screen.
Yeah, none of us saw JCW have an instance, but he is down 3, so something's
If
happened.
somebody wants to look
out on
back
the road.
at him, who's
I'll go back and see what I can find.
Yeah, it is, as we said,
Yeah,
Carl, getting on a pit road under
like
green, you're coming down from 200 miles per hour, trying to get down to, 45 miles per hour or 72 kilometres for any Australians watching that, don't speak miles per hour. It's not easy. You've got the hot, worn tyres and trying to get on there, onto a flat, you come off the banking, onto a flat bit of track and try and pull it up. It's pretty easy to make a mistake.
Trying.
It's also, and I don't know if this is the case, easy to miss that pit box on that first pit stop when you're not used to it, where your pit box actually was, and it's easy to drive past, and you can't reverse if you do pass your pit box because you will get black flagged and have to come back in and do a stop and go, so you've just got to drive through and then go back around. So even possibly that's what's happened. JCW may have missed a pit stop or something. Pit board.
I've just found it, and he has been given a stop-go penalty on lap 52.
There you go. So probably couldn't get the car slowed down enough with the worn and hot brakes and worn tyres, and that's what's happened. He's black flagged on pit road and had to do an extra drive through or stop and go. Yep. Thanks, Mark.
So we're just looking here. Toby Stent, the leader at the moment. Looking at the speeds, he's getting up to about 290 on the sort of straights here, but he's on those old tyres. So he's got that little bit of trouble with that one. A little bit further back in 14th position, it's Jai Schultz, and you'll see this car with fresher boots on it. It will be so much more comfortable for him to drive, and he'll be a lot faster at the moment as well. It's mainly the speed through the corners. These cars are still very fast in a straight line on worn tyres, but it's that cornering speed where it really matters.
Yeah, it is, Carl. Getting in and getting off with those worn tyres starting to get in, the car can get loose and break away, so you've got to stay off that throttle longer, or if you're jumping on too early, one of two things is going to happen. The back end is going to break loose, like we saw with Dave Douglas, or you're going to really wear that front tyre, which is going to really, really, really punish you. Probably, I'd say, the most important tyre on the car is that right front, because we're always turning left.
Carrying out a
144 pitting this lap.
144 pitting. This is him going to be coming down pit lane, the 144 Road Sim Sports entry, and we'll keep a little bit of an eye on here, as Parry should be popping into pit lane momentarily.
Daniel Heddershe's in this lap.
Jump over as he's just coming into pit lane now, and he's coming in with Toby Stent as well. Both these, Toby Stent as well. So both these drivers in pit lane. So
20 going in this time.
let's see if this wants to work for us. You'll be able to see the times for these pit stops, how long they are stationary. So this is where you have to be so spot on. You have to be perfect, hit your marks, slow down at the right time. It's very tricky to do. And if you look at the pit stop times, Stent at the moment is 9 seconds in, 10 seconds in. Heddershide 13, 14. Heddershide's going to go free now. Stent's going to go free now, and it looks like Heddershide may just pip him, not quite, almost pits him, but he gains a lot of space on his teammate there, and that just shows how much time you can make in pit road.
Also, Carl, I don't know if you can find the number 20 car.
Ryan Anderson, a new driver into the league this week, another American-based driver, so that makes us now with 3 American drivers, the other one being Derek Jacobs in car 99 and Russell Bratker in car 25. So we're really starting to get an international driving list. Absolutely, and it would explain why I was hearing a couple of extra American voices in the chat tonight as well.
Races the car the way up.
So yeah, if you are listening tonight, you'll be able to hear the driver's radio tonight in the background. So if you hear somebody talking that's not one of us three, that's what's going on.
And we do apologise if there's any profanity happens to be shouted out, because drivers, as we know, can get very heated.
They can indeed. One of those drivers, unfortunately, though, is out, and that's Dave Douglas. I've just seen him jump up into the chat, watching the race on from the sidelines. Shame to see him out early doors after that moment when he had a big impact.
59 pitting this lap.
Brad Finley's in this lap.
Mark Smith as well coming down pit road. And this
I've
is
got
gonna,
it. You go on, sorry, Carl.
this is going to leave Jai Schultz getting to the lead of the race, and his slightly earlier stop will help him jump ahead of those guys, as he's had some good running on those fresh tyres.
Sorry, Carl. I was going to say that 07 car's a pretty good looking car, bearing our major sponsors' livery.
Of course, and
Thanks, Travis.
the Lucas Oil Australian Stock Car Championship
Cheers,
here
mate.
will be with you all season on Checkered Flag e-streaming, and tonight, of course, the Kentucky round, the Derby, of course, being brought to you by Pluckers Racecraft.
Yeah, it's good when we can get some support and from our companies, and we ask that you support the guys that support us, and reach out to them, and some good products Lucas Oils has. Everything from motor oil for race vehicles, your everyday drive, and trucks, right through to detailing and equipment for them. So it's some really good stuff there that Lucas Oil carry.
Up here at the front, 9 seconds, and it is slowly, well, it's closing quite quickly now. Jai Schultz in the lead. Here's got Daniel Hederscheid in behind him in the 0.35, and he's just a second and a half ahead of Toby Stent. Daniel Hederscheid managing to jump Stent in the early stages of this second bit of the race as we come in for our green flag pit stops. Toby Stent sitting there in third position. He's got Nathan Button behind him at the moment, just 7 tenths behind him in the 67. Jamie Curvis sitting in 5th position with a nice gap over Adam Malone of 3.5 seconds. Adam Malone currently sitting in 6th spot. He's battling it out with Kai Turner. About 2 seconds gap there, and this is what happens in green flag stops. You get a lot of shake-up. Looks like Ruben had a little bit of a rough stop there. He's lost a bit of time, and he's sort of fallen behind Kai Turner at the moment. You can see the battle on screen at the moment as the 0.6 darts down the inside of the 4.08 and makes that move, and Ruben Phelps will be hoping to catch up. A bit further back in 9th spot, we've got Jake Sallington at the moment, sitting in a strong P9. He's got a 2.5 seconds over Matty Ray in the 83. Kobe Jordan, we saw him coming down pit lane in the 0.80, sitting in 11th with Aidan Schultz, currently sitting in 12th. Mark Smith sitting in your 13th spot with Stevie Dubb sitting in 14th. Some 3 seconds further back is Adam Ariel in 15th, and he's got Brenton Henderson all over his rear bumper in the 81 SRM machine. In 17th place, you've got Adam Tice. He's trying to catch up to Henderson at the moment in the 37. Parry Anastakis is in 18th spot. 19th, we've got Nigel Patton. And Ross Chatham is closing the gap in 20th.
All yours, Smithy.
It's good to see Ross having a good solid run. Like, I know it's not the best he's been so far down, but he's just got to keep getting points. He is a rookie this year, so he's in the fight for the Rookie of the Year. So the more points he can get, the better he'll be. Because some of the other rookies for this season haven't been able to make the race tonight, so that will put him in good stead.
You can see here the 37 of Adam Tice trying to catch Jai Schultz right now, and he's trying to get his lap back at the moment. Adam Tice is the first car a lap down, and he's on some slightly fresher tyres as well, I think, over Jai Schultz, so he might have a bit of an opportunity to try and get that lap back, although Jai's got some good pace at the moment.
Yeah, he has. The bigger tracks actually suit Jai a little bit better. I'm just looking at the tyre difference. Jai has done 33 laps on this set of tyres.
That's exactly what I was going to say to you, Mark. Jai short pitted earlier, did 30-something laps where everyone else did 50. So when he got past, I thought, okay, tyres are more worn, he's dropping back, but he's come back with a vengeance. He's doing sensational.
Yeah, Adam's only there's only 10 laps difference, but yeah, Joy
Thanks,
just seems to be able to hold Adam off and keep him behind him, not to give him his lap back.
Yeah, only 10 laps is a huge amount of rubber. Like, that's the best 10 laps that car's got in it, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you can see in the background there, Daniel Heddershue and Toby Stent now closing in on Joy, and it won't be long before we may see some three-wide racing here.
Battle for the lead now as Daniel Heddershire
Okay,
is
low
all
out of three
over
and
the
four,
back
Hendo.
here. And you can see this fight is really heating
cheers,
up
mate.
right now. Jump onto the on board right now and look at that run. He's getting on the inside, free wide here at Kentucky.
That was a beautiful setup by Daniel. Did the right thing, looked fake to go to the outside, and then just at the last minute turned underneath, and Joy had no choice but to stay up in that mid-track.
Great racing going on track at the moment.
Again, Carl, we've had we're in week 4 of our broadcasting races between ourselves, Checker Flag, and Performance E-Streaming, and I don't think we've had a race where we've haven't had to make a hard choice on what cameras to use and what part of the field to show, because it's been close racing all the way through.
Absolutely, it's been some really good stuff on track. Sounded like somebody was popping into pit lane, I think.
Yeah, it was Brett Campbell in the Golden Octopus 015 car.
Yeah, well, Brett will be off from everybody else, of course, because he had that incident earlier, so he would have taken tyres and fuel while he was repairing some of that damage, so he'll be off kilter with the rest, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means if a caution was to come out soon, he might pick up a lap or two.
I believe maybe Reece May is coming down pit lane too in the number 5 car.
Keep an eye on that one as well. And that does look like he is. He's pulling off the gas there, and the number 5, little bit skittish as he gets on pit road. Locks a wheel there, but it is down to speed, and he's going to come down pit lane and get some fresh boots and some go juice in at that thing.
Yeah, definitely. Just start back up the front as you switch to the camera there, Carl. Daniel has absolutely been able to open up a gap of nearly 1.5 seconds over his teammate Toby Stent.
Yeah,
So
Daniel is on fire in this stint. He has got some really good pace at the moment.
Jake Saddleton's in this lap. Yeah, Daniel's has really found some speed this season. Not only with us, but also with Ant's car. He's had a couple of good finishes there on the Thursday night in the Cup car.
Well, he's been very quick since he made his arrival on the scene. Daniel Heddershire, he is a very, very fast driver, and he's very good at keeping the car alive. But keep an eye on Toby Stent later in the stint. He might be saving a little bit of tyre for a little bit more of a run later on.
I think the smart drivers are, Carl, that's the truth. It looks like it's got a green flag sort of finish, of course. The mockery, the curse of the commentators, I'll probably bring out a caution, but it's looking pretty green at the moment.
I was just about to say, I'm sure we're going to cut to a car on its roof on fire any second now.
Oh, we could always pray for rain.
It will be fun when rain finally arrives in iRace, and just switch that on in the middle of the 500 or something. Just make sure the drivers are awake.
Yes.
Could you imagine trying to go around a corner, which is what NASCAR is? We drive around corners at 200 miles per hour in the wet. It's just not going to happen.
I think it may have been maybe some drifting.
It will be, Mark. In real life, and of course it'll come to iRacing as well, they are going to start running these NASCARs on road courses in the wet. In the old days, the rules covered everything, didn't matter if it was a road course or an oval. If it rained or got wet, that was it. They're going to actually start using some wet weather tyres in, which will be great for NASCAR. We all want to see it happen, and no one wants to see tracks get a washout just because of rain.
Thanks.
Dave Douglas just pointing out that it should be safe. There shouldn't be any cautions out there because the 65 is not on track, so that is very true indeed.
It's got a great sense of humour.
I'm glad he decided to pick on you and not me.
Oh, well, that's it. I mean, I'm an easy target tonight, so. Steve Dalbert up there in P10, he just got past Kai Turner and he's catching up to the back of Aidan Schultz now in the Quantum car. And Steve Dub on slightly, about the same, where am I? Slightly fresher tyres, I should say, by about 7 laps over Stevie Dub.
Just going back to those wet weather tyres, I do believe that they may even run some of the short tracks this year in the wet.
That is the
pretty
rumour.
sure. Yeah, I thought I read that somewhere. But that will be interesting for sure, especially at the likes of Richmond and maybe even Dover. Dover would be a little bit scary being cement.
I was about to say I would not be that keen. It would be very greasy indeed out there, and that would not be fun stuff. Something may have happened to Reese May here. We'll go back and see with the replay of the 8D car here. It's always just got loose up there, coming across the D section of the track. And he's taken to cutting the lawn here at Kentucky. Manages to save that car, so good job on him. Nice save there, and he's managed to get it back on track and keep it going. But it just shows how quick it can change and how quick we could be in for a caution.
Yeah, 100%, Colin. That's exactly what we spoke about, turns 3 and 4, where the car just behaves totally different. You've got a big lot of steam behind you, under your belt, and you go into 3 and 4, and that grip just isn't there like it was through 1 and 2.
25 per.
The other thing they've got to be careful of is with running mid-track and not getting up on that high line. All the marbles that get up there against the wall, Brad, I definitely don't think I'd want to be up there on worn tyres and hit some of those marbles.
Yeah, 100%, Mark. With this new car, we don't run as high as we used to in previous years, so the marbles really, really, really build up high. So once you do get push up a little bit higher than you wanted, you just got no chance. No matter what you do, you've just got no control of the car. You're a passenger up until you've hit the wall, and then they hopefully get enough steering back where you can come down safely.
Russell Bratker coming in for a stop here. He's a few laps down, Russell Bratker. He's currently 10 laps off the lead. So he's going to be hoping to at least try and get some positions tonight. Or at least get halfway to get some points secured. So we're almost at half race distance now. Obviously, it's going to be a slightly different race if it remains green. A driver that has come down pit road, I think, is Jai Schultz. He's come in pit lane and got some fresh boots on that car. So he's now coming into his second part of the stint. So we're going to be looking at those second stops coming in soon, thick and fast.
Yeah, we are, Carl. Like we said, Jai short pitted early, he's short pitted again now, so he's planning one extra pit stop from most people, I believe, than others are, which can be a good thing. You do pick up, up second and a half a lap on nice fresh rubber, so it's not beyond reason. It's just maybe depends on when that caution comes out, if it comes out, and how things shake about.
That's it. We're on board on the nose cam of Jai Schultz at the moment, and you'll see the closing speed difference here, fresh boots compared to some old ones.
Yeah, Carl, it is truly a different race car. Like, people don't quite understand what it's like out there on worn rubber compared to new shoes. It's amazing.
Gives you a massive boost of confidence, of course, and makes you feel back alive in the car. There's nothing worse than a car on old tyres when they're heated up and you just feel it's sluggish, it's not quite there. And then when you get back out there on the fresh boots, it just comes alive again.
Yeah. If you can get back out there, of course, if you don't do a Dave Douglas and put it into the wall, you can always get the fresh rubber and get back out there. I know Dave's listening, so I've got to say that.
No, you'd never want to be a Dave Douglas. I mean, that's what we tell all the children. Don't be a Dave Douglas.
That's exactly right. And for those out there, Dee Dee's cussing, she's good to listen to. I think tonight was a good example of Dave of what to do. Drove well to start with him, what not to do. So, yeah, a good all-round driver.
Yep. Do as he says, don't do as he does. You can see Jai Schultz just ahead of Ruben Phelps. Now Ruben Phelps up in third position. And you can just see the difference in speed of this car on fresh tyres as he's running away from the SRN machine and this Racing Madness team. And he is just getting past Brett Campbell there in the Golden Octopus Foundation car. And yeah, Jai's been having some really good races this season. He's really coming along well on the oval leagues. It's great to see. We love seeing drivers, improving and building up their skill. And Jai has been one of those drivers that has just been improving leaps and bounds as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers that have improved out of sight since I remember the beginning of this series when it wasn't broadcast or anything else, and the driving, not only is it the great talent, entered the competition, but the guys who have learnt from step one and come up through the ranks, it's really good to see them enjoying it and going out there. And here we are on lap 96 and we're still green.
Absolutely. Sarah K. Jesberg just mentioning about the gold of Brett Campbell's car, and absolutely it stands out very well. And as we're slowly going from day to night, it really stands out well in the lights. It comes alive as soon as those lights come on. A very, very golden car for the Golden Octopus Foundation.
I know a guy that did a fair bit of work on that paint, so he should be happy and pleased with himself.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think his first name might have been Carl, for those who aren't aware of what we're talking about. Would that be right, Carl?
There's not that many cars out there. It must be somebody else, I am sure. Absolutely chuffed that we managed to get this paint job working. Looks very nice indeed, and yeah, it wasn't too hard. It was just getting the right numbers in the right position, and it's come out really well. So very happy for that. I'm very happy to help out Brett as well.
Yeah, outstanding presenter. You did a great job for him. I don't know how appreciative it was. I saw on Facebook his post thanking you so much for it.
I've got to get out of this chair sometimes, so don't make my head too big, guys,
I'll say hi to him.
Well, there we go. We look at the top of the field. We've still got Daniel Heddersheet leading, Toby Stent second, and Ruben Phelps third. So the same three, as we approach halfway, as basically nearly the top three as we started. So every guy's plan is coming to fruition.
Yes, indeed. And looking at the stint laps, Nathan Button will be coming into pit lane very shortly. He's going to be, he's probably going to want to come down in the next 10 or so laps. So I expect to see him coming in. But he's having a solid run up there in P5 at the moment. Well, P6 as Adam Malone just sneaks through there in the number 3. Adam Malone having a good run as well.
Yeah, and like I said, my strategy, Carl, I'm coming to pit road now. This is my lap, this lap or next lap, I'm definitely in.
Just in the background as well, the 07 of Mark Smith. He is catching up to this group and he's battling in the top 10 at the moment as well. So
67 pitting this lap.
Nice to see a few different names up and around.
Yeah, it's great to see Smithy up there. Good talented driver. We see some errors sometimes, which aren't his fault. He gets caught up in other things than that. Just trying to get used to racing around big fields, which he's not used to, but a good driver.
Almost like he was listening to us, Nathan Button. Said he was coming in shortly, and he does indeed come into pit lane.
Yeah, one good thing, Carl. Right at the moment, we have. Well, once people come back out and this round of pit stops, we'll probably have 30 cars that will be classified as finishes for the race.
Oh, yours in the 3, Jamie.
That's great to hear.
Sorry, Jake.
It's a big thing with this league, which is totally different to all other leagues. It's like nothing else I drive in, where they've got to complete a certain degree to qualify for any points. So it doesn't matter if you lead the first 99 laps. If you don't make that mark, you won't get a single point. So no, it's good. It really encourages people to fix their car and try and get back out there and don't give up.
Adds a little bit of extra challenge to a long race, of course. It is a fairly long race, and it just gives that little bit of, as you say, gives people a little bit more of a hurry up to keep them out there and keep on battling.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark. Go ahead, buddy.
I was going to say, the other thing what we have brought in this year is we towards the end of last year, a lot of guys were sitting in pit lane and not qualifying. So this year what we've done is if you want bonus points, you must qualify. You must set a qualifying time. Otherwise, there's no bonus points for you.
Another good idea, another good strategy I think you've introduced, Mark. It's great. We encourage people to get out there and, you don't have to qualify up front, just qualify rather than sit in pit lane and take it easy and wait to the end to make a charge. We want to see racing throughout the 200 laps here, not just the final 5 laps. So it's good.
Very close echo, John and Mark Smith. They were 3 wide for a couple of moments. That's Kobe John on.
Leaders stuck into pit lane coming up.
Well, this is an important moment for Jai Schultz, as he is now the first car a lap down, and he's closing in on Toby Stent and Daniel Hederscheid, and he'll be on the lead lap very shortly. And of course, if we do see a caution flag fall, that will mean that he can stay on that lead lap, of course.
100%, Carl. I think we've got about 12 cars at the moment. Is it 12 cars a lap down? They're all going to be fighting for that lucky dog spot. Some won't be fighting as much, obviously, like I just said, pit strategy, but those who are on a similar pit strategy, it's a race within a race. It's sensational.
I'll go high.
So, I just had something here with Kai Turner. Just double check that one and see what's happened. It's just, we just abandoned going down pit road there, Kai Turner. So may have got a little bit of a snap off of 4 and was not going to slow that car for pit lane, and decided to take another lap around rather than serve a penalty.
Yep, smart thinking on the side of the driver. Didn't panic, didn't try, and I'm going on pit road full stop. Realised he couldn't get there, couldn't get the car pulled up, so go around, try again. Better to waste 10 seconds than an extra 30 on pit road or another drive-through where it's going to be, 40-second hold or something.
Now, what were we talking about at the start of this stint? Watch out for Toby Stent. He was saving his tyres, and it has come to fruition as he's up there with Daniel Hederscheid now, battling it out for the lead of the race.
Sorry,
Something may have happened somewhere down the field.
Something did happen, Carl. We got 2 cars. Mark Smith was one of them. I don't think it was Mark's fault, but the cars got into each other and they were sideways, and great driving ability on their part. Just back a little bit before that, it was sensational.
There we go. And you can see here it's Mark
The
Smith.
crossover didn't work, and there we go, straight into him, and then up into Mark. Mark didn't realise the 2 cars down low got together, so look at this, drifting, and still the caution doesn't come out. Both drivers regathered and controlled.
Tell you what, there's going to be a Mark Smith's going to have to come into pit lane soon, though, not for a change of tyres, not for fuel, but for a change of race overalls.
Yeah, the new brown pants he's got look sensational.
Great job by both those drivers, though, just able to save it. And as you said, Smithy's had a bit of a bad luck this season. That could have been one of those moments, but luckily he is all safe and sound, and look, no damage to that car really. Maybe just a little bit of speckle on the paint, but importantly, that thing is pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, and I did hear Smithy jump on the radio and question, the driver getting in. What Smithy didn't realise was a driver down low got into the driver who got into him, so it was a the Cascordian effect, wasn't it?
While we were talking about the 007, just want to give a shout out to the to Paul Grady, who's normally driving the 129 car. He's actually over in WA in Perth at the moment, competing with real life drag racing. So good luck, boys, over there, and hope you bring a trophy back home.
Yeah. Sorry, Cody. For sure. I looked for Paul tonight, wasn't in a race, which I thought was unusual, being a sponsor of the league, and now we understand where he is, and good luck to Paul Grady, Plucker, as we call him, and as you said, let's hope he can bring home the trophy.
Yeah, he's away this weekend. I believe next week they're in Mildura with some more racing, so he'll be missing next week too. So unfortunately for him, it's not going to do his championship much good, but real life racing, I kind of sort of takes precedence over sim racing.
Yes, well, Marco, you would know that because we all know you're heavily involved with the go-karting and supporting them and so forth. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit interesting when I guess Lucas Oil's wanting with the drag car, he's got to go.
Well, if he doesn't want to go, I'll put my hand up.
Too many gears and everything in those gearboxes for me to muck around with.
But mate, you've only got to drive in a straight line. How hard can it be?
For Mark, that's very hard. For Mark, that's a tricky one.
Oh yeah, I don't have number 14 on the car for nothing.
Thank you, Tony.
It is Toby Stent in the lead as we've ticked over 117 laps, still green to green at the moment. Daniel Hedderscheid sits in second. Got Ruben Phelps a little bit further off in third position with his teammate Matty Ray just behind him. It's Mark Smith in fifth spot. Stevie Dubb currently sitting in sixth with Aidan Schultz following him in seventh. Joey Schultz in eighth. He is on a slightly different strategy to the rest and he's catching up once again. Got Brenton Henderson there in ninth position with Brad Fenley in 10th. It's Perry Anastakis in 11th spot. 12th spot, is Jamie Nan Curvis. We've got Ryan Anderson on debut tonight in 13th spot with Nathan Button 14th and Jason Nicholas in 15th spot.
I'm impressed with Jamie tonight. He's the last time I really looked at him, he was 2 laps down, so he's been able to work his way back to just being 1 lap down. And I know that these guys will be looking for maybe a caution and praying for a caution. But in the lucky dog spot at the moment, it's Brendan Henderson.
Why?
So he'd get the wave around and bring him back onto the lead lap.
All yours, Blake, right?
Yeah, it is. We've got Jamie about 2 seconds behind Brendan. So, yep. And between them, we've got another 2 cars a lap down. So it's looking good for that fight for that lucky dog, the race within the race.
There's Joe Schultz there just getting past Aidan Schultz. And then on the low line, it's Mr. JCW, Joshua Carroll Walden, who's had a bit of a rough night tonight after getting that penalty. He's just come in for his main second stop. And he's going to be charging back now, be his 3 laps off the leader, and that's going to be painful for the 35 tonight.
I'm glad I'm not going to be in the green room with JCW tonight because he's going to have a lot to say, I'm quite sure.
Well, if he gets in the top 3 position, I'm sure he'll be saying a lot as well. You might be very happy indeed. It's still not over, of course, but with the current rate of things, it's not looking too good for him, you must say.
Yeah, Ruben Phelps on the pit road now from 3rd position.
And Matty Ray as well joining him in pit lane, so 2 teammates coming in with each other.
And Carl, I am 100% sure, if I know anything about this race, that there is no way Ruben can make the finish from lap 121 on the next set of fuel he takes. He's still going to have to stop again.
That is very true, unless he can pull a miracle, of course.
I don't think it can happen, Carl. I think, and if it stays green like it's gone, I think Rubens is going to end up only being able to come in and take some fuel and 2 tyres, which will make it loose for a few laps as well. So it is good watching for those who aren't informed, who don't do the racing. So this is why we try and say what's going to happen. So if it stays green, you'll see Ruben come in once again and take 2 tyres. And as we, of course, a couple of people get together. But
sorry, Mark Smith and Brett Campbell just got together out of turn 4, I believe it was. No, turn 2.
Ooh, contact there.
And Ruben was below them, just off pit road. So he's little. He would have been gripping that wheel tight, Ruben.
So 3 wide there. JCW sliding up as well, and there's a lot of cars there. A lot of action going on with cars. Few laps down, cars on fresh tyres, cars on old tyres. It looks like Mark may have just been unsighted, not known. I imagine his spotter would have said he's clear. He thought he was clear, and then he's gone right into Brett Campbell. But really, not a huge amount of damage on those cars. Brett's going to have to pop in. I think he might have a little bit, unfortunately. But yeah, that was not a fun one to happen. But the caution flag did not fall.
No, it looks like Mark's got just a bit of damage on that front nose, but he's got a couple of nice big long scrapes down the right side of the car.
I'm trying to think how many cars Mark has come in contact with tonight. None that I believe were just his fault, but there's a few. His name must be up on a target or somewhere. Maybe there's $5 for those who can put a mark on Mark Smith's car. We call him Mark for a reason.
He is in the lead of this race at the moment, though, after that incident, as people have come down pit lane, and he's sticking it out a little bit longer than the rest. And, well, it's found him in the lead of this race.
It's incredible, isn't it, considering, like, we've seen he's had a few incidents, and still, he's now leading the race, so that's terrific.
Just ahead of Stevie W, you've got Jai Schultz up there and Daniel Hederscheid with Toby Stent, of course. They'll be coming back onto track, get it up to speed, as we are on lap 126 of 200.
I will say this: the guys have been well behaved and really we've been lucky not to see a few cautions tonight. But the guys have been out to keep the cars rolling and haven't had to have a caution. So.
Absolutely. Got Jai Schultz right here, who we're going to jump on board with now, and he's catching Stevie Dub. Of course, Jai Schultz is on a slightly alternate strategy. He's 41 laps into this stint now, so he's sort of plugging along, and he'll need to come down pit road at least one more time, maybe 2 tonight, to get to the end.
Yeah, well, he won't want to come in for about 10 more laps, I think, if he's going to try and do one more stop.
Of course, lap 140 is probably the real magical number of tonight. But we've seen a few people eke it out a little bit longer. We've got Stevie Dub out here at the moment. He's on 62 laps into this stint.
Jai Schultz has just gone into second, according to the timing screen.
He has indeed, as he just got past Stevie Dub, the man we're on board with right now. And Jai, of course, he's got 20 or so fresher tyres with himself, and that's helping him just get past some of these cars.
Yeah, Carl, sorry, Mark. At lap 40, Carl, I know I can get to the end, but should a green-white checker come out at the end, I'm going to have to pit for fuel. So I'm going to try and get to lap 150.
And don't forget too, Brad, we've got 2 green-white checkers this year, so and that was just so we could try and get a green flag finish. But that's also a risky thing in the sense that if we get one green-white checker, we're normally going to see the second one because there's going to be some people trying that desperate move with that second one.
We do, Mark, and I know we have them in real life. I'm not in favour of them. I don't call them green-white checkers. I call them green-white wreckers, because that's all that happens. You get those blokes charging at the end who are going to make up 5 positions to pick up 5 extra bonus points, just wrecking everything and forget about the previous 199 laps.
Yeah, that's it.
Going in next time.
So quite a lot of chat over the radio as drivers looking to come in onto pit road, and a few people playing off their strategies. Derek Jacobs, I think, one of those drivers that is coming down pit lane now. It won't be long until we see Mark Smith and Stevie Dub coming in pit lane. We said about 61, 63 laps of fuel on board these cars. Stevie Dub at the moment is doing a stellar job. He's 65 laps in this stint at the moment.
I will say one thing, Carl. Just then, on the camera I'm looking at, just seen Reese May have another big tank slap, and 2 years ago he would have been sideways across the track and involved in a wreck, and he's been out of twice tonight now that I've seen where he's been able to keep control of that car and keep it in the forward motion. So my hat goes off to him as he goes into the wall.
Yes, Mark, but we stay green, as you said. I think you and I have both seen some of these drivers here have come so far, considering when they first joined the league, and we weren't even racing the, these type of cars. We were really doing the lower, slower models. These guys have come leaps and bounds.
Yeah, definitely.
Reese May having that issue in front of Mark Smith would have made him take a big gulp of air, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a second change of race suit may be needed.
Yes, absolutely. Mark is looking awfully loose out there. Those tyres, I think, have done their job.
Stevie Dub has come down pit lane as well. He is in at the moment, getting a top up of fuel. 134. He should be able to just make it from here, I think. If he saves and saves and saves. So he's going to be touch and go. Mark Smith now coming in to get a top up of fuel. He will also be on that verge of making it. It'll be tantalisingly close to making it home with no more stops.
Yeah, I think so, Carl. If it stayed green the whole way, I think you could get there now. Out there in the test, you get 65 laps, somewhere between 60 to 65. If you were saving and lifting, you could maybe get 66. So it's a nail-biting. This is great stuff now, what we're seeing.
Absolutely. Mark Smith coming in pit lane, gets his markers absolutely perfect. Dave's going to be happy with that. Out on track at the moment, it is the battle for the lead with Heddershide and Stent at the moment. Those two nose to tail.
Heading 59.
And it sounds like Brad Fenway might be coming into pit road shortly as well. It's currently sitting in 9th position, and I'd say this will probably be his final stop of the night, but it is still a little bit touch and go. But he's done 67 laps in this stint, Brad Fenley, so he will be able to make it home from here for sure.
Just had a lead change, and a great move by Toby right down on that yellow line, and just drove straight underneath Daniel.
Looking at the replay now.
I'll try and find that replay. There it is indeed.
Oh, the crossover.
They may be teammates, but these guys will be battling for sure. We've got Joe Schultz behind them at the moment. Just check down Heddershide quickly. Some 5 seconds back is Joe Schultz. Of course, he is he's 52 laps into this stint, so he's going to have to come down pit lane relatively soon. But he might see a decent finishing position if we remain green. He could be in for a very nice finish tonight. Once everybody else does their pit stops.
Absolutely, Carl. Like we said earlier, he was up there and he's coming back round, so it's all cycling. You got your teammates of Toby Stent and Daniel Heddershide, and then Jai Schultz is going to be the one-out guy who's going to try and take on those teammates. It's terrific.
Low, Jesse, low.
Absolutely, just behind him is the 06 of Ruben Phelps in the SR
Yeah,
machine. And again, relatively quiet night for Ruben at the moment, but I imagine it will start to heat up a little bit towards the end of the race. Nathan Button in 5th. He's having a really solid run in the 67 tonight. Matty Ray as well. He'll be very happy with his run. He's got Adam Malone for company just behind him at the moment for a relatively good battle, although Matty Ray is on much fresher tyres than Adam Malone, so I imagine Mr. Matty Ray will be running away with this one at the moment. Adam Malone has got Jamie Van Curvis closing in on him, and as I said, Jamie's had a relatively quiet night. He's been just lurking at there or thereabouts.
Yeah, that's what he. Oh, sorry. I was going to say that's what you want to do. You just want to start getting some good finishing spots here. He's been mixed up in last week in a few unfortunate incidents, and seen him finish down a little bit. But tonight he's having a good solid run. As I said, he's come back from 2 laps down. So it just goes to show if you keep your nose clean and just keep working at it, you can definitely come back and get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, 100%, Mark. And as you said, round 1, he's in 5th place in championship at the minute. No penalty points last week, no bonus points. So just a solid drive. Didn't feature on the stream or anything else, but sitting in top 5 position in the championship, which is good luck to him. He's a good driver. He's coming ahead in leaps and bounds.
Yeah, definitely. Matty Ray there and Nathan Button.
It's the battle for 5th and 6th at the moment, and Matty Ray has got some fresher boots underneath him, which is helping him just decide. He can pretty much pick and choose his lines at the moment, and Matty Ray will be quite happy for a quiet night tonight, as he's had some very, very poor luck recently, and he'll be just happy to plod along at the moment and not have anything happening around him, I'm sure.
I think, sorry, man, but I think Matty Ray was talking to us last week about this run at bad luck. He said, I think he feels like it's over. So I agree, Carl. He's just consolidating tonight, going, yep, it's over. Nobody's taken me out. I did nothing wrong. Solid finish, doing well. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, on Thursday night he pulled a rocket ship out of the qualifying and put it on pole in the Ants car. But unfortunately, he didn't have a great finish to the race.
No, it caught him by absolute surprise. He doesn't know how he got pole. I do, because he's very talented, but he was absolutely shocked at that one. Matty Ray, not known for his qualifying skill, gets pole position. That was a headline and a half.
Most definitely was. But you can see he's trying to consolidate and just really become a consistent driver. And that's what he's doing. He's really starting to turn that on and become that consistent driver. Yes, he's had some bad luck in the ANS car races this year, but he did win our truck series over the summer break, so he definitely has talent there, and he only won that by 1 point, so it's a good close championship.
Driver that we've not talked about tonight, Tristan Koch, back here in 28th spot. Very quiet night for Tristan, and he's just plodding along at the moment. He's 6 laps off the lead, unfortunately. So it's sort of one of those races where, unfortunately, caught out from not having any cautions. But he's had a consistent night, and there's not much damage on that car. So
0-0 in this lap.
No, good solid night from Tristan. He's joined a new team this year, of course, Aussie Beer Motorsports. His teammates being Aidan Schultz, Brad Fenley, Brett Campbell, of course, who we've spoken about tonight, and Tristan. So a good solid team of blokes who are going to learn and grow together throughout the season. I imagine all of them will see better and better results from them.
Absolutely. Another driver we've not mentioned tonight, Noddy Tompkins as well, having a solid run in the 80. A driver that has come on leaps and bounds over the years. We've seen Noddy's development from when he started to now, and he's a solid hand nowadays, and it's great to see with Tompkins.
Yeah, it is, Carl, and I'm going to be sure, I know I keep name dropping, but you've got people now like Ruben Phelps has joined the team with Noddy, and you've got Matty Ray, so he has got so much wealth of knowledge that he can draw upon now. I expect to see him come forward in leaps and bounds, truly.
Adam Ariel there in the 515, having a solid run inside the top 20. He's sitting in 17th spot at the moment.
I do believe that's his farm that he's got on the farm fresh, I think it is, on the side of the car. So a person that's used to working all weird, wonderful hours of the day and night.
Oh, no, farmers deserve all of the respect you can give them. It's a very thankless job, and nice to see Adam having a good run out there tonight, and running some Farm Fresh
I'm not trying to
sponsorship
pass,
on there
no.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mark. Sorry, Mark. Before I cut you off, you'd be able to tell us Adam is running as a solo at this year's
Yeah.
season, is he?
Yeah,
Yep.
he's a privateer this year. So unfortunately, with you stepping down and myself stepping
Toby,
down
I'm
from
hitting
racing
flat.
to concentrate on other things, Adam's decided that he'll stick it out and run as a privateer this year.
Yeah, and good on him. He was a pleasure to have as a teammate last year.
Yeah. Now the other person, Carl, I'd like to talk about is Jason Nichols. Down in 27th in the 72 car. Jason is a serving member of the ADF, so thanks for your service, mate. It goes out to after my own heart, being an ex-serviceman. He's come back and running this year as a privateer. He spent, I think it was 6 months at sea last year. So, you know, it's good to see him back alongside and back into the racing.
Absolutely great to see him, and a big thank you to him and all our servicemen and women doing fantastic work, and any servicemen and women across the world as well. Hats off and a salute to you. And you know, people may know I'm a bit of a military history nerd myself, and I have a lot of time and respect for anybody that has done any active service.
100%, Carl. As I said, we all up here in the booth thank them for their service.
So currently we've got 2 cars out of this race. That is Dave Douglas and Lachlan Quio. Still 30 cars running here tonight. We've had no cautions. It's Toby Stent in the lead with Daniel Heddershide in second. Third is Ruben Phelps. Fourth is Matty Ray, and Nathan Button rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, we've got 6 cars showing on the lead lap at the moment, but again, that's very distorted because of different pit strategies. So, like I said, if it had been me out there now, I would have pitted probably a lap ago, and I'd be out there. So things will start to switch and change around as the laps progress on. Amazing at the moment. We've got our first and second holding an 18-second lead over third place Ruben Phelps. So Toby Stent and Daniel Heddershide within a second of each other, and 18 seconds ahead of Ruben Phelps and Matty Ray.
This is the driver people have to watch out for, Jai Schultz. He has come down pit lane. He's strapped on some new boots. He's 8 laps into this stint now. And, well, obviously, people have to keep an eye on him because they could lose some positions if they pit too late and don't swap their tyres, because he's going to be gaining a lot of time here.
I think he's on the money, Carl. That's my opinion. I've said that all night. My strategy's been clear. I think he is right on the money, Jai Schultz, at this time.
And coming in pit lane right now, we've got Ruben Phelps, and he is coming in to take his stop, and I think he is doing that purely to cover off Jai Schultz at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's done that. We call it monkey see, monkey do. He's covering him. We've got a car getting loose there. I believe the 5 got loose. It's still getting loose. We may have our first caution. We haven't.
Caution.
We do indeed, as Reese May brings out the first caution flag here tonight on lap 156.
Quite amazing, Carl. I just happened to be watching him at the time where it all happened.
Talk us through this one, Brad.
Just got there, a little bit of contact, got him loose, a little bit of aero, tried to regather. I actually thought he had it, but then it overcorrected and lost it. You can see there the back end stepping out, and I thought, yep, okay, just got to lose it. Once he hit the tarmac on the flat, he thought, no, he's fine, we're going to keep going green, but then he starts shooting up that track, and he said once he gets up to about there, he's now getting into marbles, and he's in all sorts of trouble.
I'll tell you what, though, he's done well to keep it off the wall.
He has, and Joe Nankervis will be looking at that going, oh, no, and he's just spun it round in the right way, and, you know, it's held the brakes. He's done everything right in that situation. and kept that car pointing the right way. And the driver this is going to hurt is Jai Schultz, who was on that strategy and did not want to see that caution flag flying.
Well, Carl, maybe he's just pitted, so he's going to stay out 100% for sure. And I reckon you're going to find the top 4 people are going to come in and pit. So to me, I think Jai Schultz was probably, I'm not sure about Mark Smith and Stevie W, but I reckon if Jai Schultz hasn't got the lead, he's the worst he's going to be is in 3rd position on what we'd say fresh rubber. He's done 1 lap.
Well, we know Mark Smith and Stevie Dub were looking to make it to the end. They'll be able to do it comfortably now, as they won't have to worry too much about fuel. So that's something else to consider, is there's drivers now that are going to run to the end, but they will have an offset on their tyres, of course. Fresh boots do make a big difference, so that will change things up. It all depends whether Jai Schultz can get that lap back, of course. And,
No, sorry, Carl. Mark has just been given the lucky dog. So.
I was about to say, Mark Smith's the lucky dog, so he's got to stay out and take that wave around for the lucky dog, then pit. So he's definitely going to be starting from the lucky dog. For those who don't know, must start at the rear of the field.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark is the luckiest dog out there, because he was running. He was going to make it to the end on fuel anyway, so he'll be able to pit now for tyres and be on that lead lap. And that's going to be very helpful for him. We should have Matty Ray, Nathan Button, Stevie Dubb, Jai Schultz, Brenton Henderson, Parry Anastakis and Ruben Phelps getting the wave around. The driver that is going to get this worked out very well is that man Ruben Phelps. He just stopped for his tyres and he is going to be on a nice fresh set of boots on this restart.
Excellent. So you got him, you got Jai Schultz. Yeah, this is going to be exciting.
I've just got my eye on Mark Smith. So I wonder if we will see him pull into pit lane to take fresh rubber and see out the last 40 laps.
I think he has to,
Yes,
Mark.
he's
Lucky dog, he's got to start from the rear. You're going to go in, you're going to top up, you're going to take 4 fresh good years, and nothing's going to stop you.
And we should start seeing those wave arounds very shortly as well. Maybe. Oh no, may not be for some of those drivers because they're behind them, so they may not get the wave around.
Yeah, I think we actually said last week, and it was quoted, like, same type of thing happened here. What's happened to Mark Smith tonight happened to Dale Earnhardt. And the pit chief said, yep, you got to get the wave around, come in, we're going to put 2 fresh good years on and send you out, you'll be fine. You've only done 5-6 laps on your tyres. And Dale said, well, you can put 2 good years on if you want, but I'm not leaving till I get 4. That's exactly what's happened tonight.
So you can see there on the camera, Carl, Mark's sitting there getting he's taking his service, so now he'll be trying to get some of that damage repaired on that car.
Absolutely. Okay.
So what he'll be doing there, he'll be doing as much work on that car until they get to the back stretch, turn 4, and then he'll, as I say that, he's taken off from his pit box.
Yeah, and what Mark will want is another caution to come out, and that way he won't need the lucky dog, and he'll start then in the top 10, of course, and try and work his way forward. So his fingers crossed for the another caution will be more than anything.
Well, he's in a good position because he's also on fresh tyres as well, which a few drivers won't be, but this should make it interesting. So we're going to have 8 cars on the lead lap once we go back to green flag racing.
We are, Carl, but unfortunately Smithy's going to have to be behind about 28 of them. So he's going to want that. He's going to want that caution to come
number
out.
5, you got to be in front of me.
But as we always say,
Dan,
cautions
just come
breed
out of the pit.
cautions. So we'll see what happens here on the restart.
They do, Mark. Cautions breed more cautions than rabbits. Absolutely.
Pace car lights are out, and we will go back to green here. As you can see in the background, a lot of guys
Righto,
trying to catch up
25.
to that crane.
I was about to say, Mark, it's half the field missing into frames. Exactly right. Blokes trying to do what they're doing, get as much repairs done as they can, and hoping to time it perfectly.
And you can see just the jumble of cars right here.
Yeah, let's hope no black flags
coming.
get issued here.
Hey,
And let's
hi,
hope the
you gonna
guys
come
get this
through?
sorted.
But hurry up,
Pace
guys.
car's pulling off, so let's hope it all goes well.
And we'll watch the leaders here. It's Toby Stent, Daniel Hendershire, Matty Ray, Nathan Button up the front.
Oh, there's still cars catching up at 100 miles an hour at the back. I think we've definitely got to see a car or two black flagged out there. This was not good.
And unfortunately,
Thanks for
we
the penalty,
don't clear black flags.
Yeah, thanks whoever that was.
So I
Good
can
job,
hear a few guys getting saying thanks to other drivers about black flags for not catching the pack quick enough.
But the issue
Yeah.
with that is, you know, that there's a lot of cars out of position in that one. And, you know, that is the problem when you get a restart like that. It does change things up a lot. But up the front, it is Toby Stent running away from Daniel Hendershire at the moment. Matty Ray, that worked out perfectly for him as he's sitting up there in P3 at the moment. Mark Smith is not too far off the lead pack. He's a few cars back right here in 4th position. Ruben Phelps is working his way up as well.
Yeah, we've got 8 cars in the lead lap car, like you said, and the 7th car is 6 seconds back, 6.5 seconds back. And we've got Ruben Phelps and Stevie W 5 seconds back, Smithy 3 seconds back, and Toby Stent, Daniel Heddersheet, and Matty Ray right up there together.
I just see Jake Saddleton coming out of pit lane. So and we're going to have another caution. Back straight. Adam Malone.
And that's going to give Brenton Henderson the lucky dog, I believe, if he wasn't involved in that.
And this really helps Mark Smith out with him being able to get back up on the tail end.
Oh, Smithy's happy. Everyone up there is happy. They're all going to be right behind the leader now. No one, I don't think anyone there is going to pit from the that we see, you know, top 7 cars at all. Hendo's going to get the wave around, and it'll be up to Parry then to hope for another caution so he can get the next wave around. I guess the most unlucky person out there would be Aidan Schultz with what's occurred.
So 3 wide here. In the middle there is Adam Malone. And
Yeah,
Mark Smith just ahead.
He's just come up track and caught the front of Adam Tyrrell and turned himself around in front of Adam. So we may not see that car back out. That's a heavy lick into that, just in front of that right rear and the nose.
Absolutely, Aaron Tice as well there. And that is our second caution of the night. And what were you saying about cautions breeding cautions?
Yeah.
Well, it's a big field. You put them all together. You know, if you get through that first few laps, you don't get a caution. It's fine. But once you bunch them all back up and you head off the green, it's pretty easily to get wrecked again. You know, no one's real fault. It's part of racing.
And this is the
Lucky
onboard
dog on
for
the
Adam
outside.
Tice in that incident. And sort of as you're driving along, you wouldn't have seen that coming along, and all of a sudden the car just comes up in front of you, and you've got nowhere to go. And that's never a fun thing to have happen.
No, nothing on him whatsoever. Absolutely nothing wrong there at all. Just caught up in someone else's mess, which was unintentional, of course. It's a racing thing, but yep.
So we're going to have a ding-dong battle up here, up the front. By the looks of it, Ruben's gone back into pit lane with Stevie Dubb and Joy Schultz and taken another set of tyres.
Well, Mark, you did give them 1,000. I guess you may as well use a set. I think we've got 9 cars going to be shooting out for this lucky dog position. So if this is not going to be exciting, not only the top 8 drivers out there on a lead lap, but the next 9 cars are going to be fighting for that lucky dog position. This is going to be great. There's still a long way to go. We're on lap 165 only.
Yeah, definitely is still a long way. We see, I believe that was the
Yep.
5 car in the pit. Oh, look at all the cars in the background in the pit lane. So yeah, they're definitely all coming in to take their sets of tyres.
A lot of those cars didn't have the opportunity to pit last caution, I think, as well. They were trying to jostle full positions back. So a lot of people using this to get at least a fresh set of boots to the end of the race here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Carl. That's exactly what you do in that position. You stay out and just hope for what happened. Cautions breed cautions, and you're only going to run 5 laps and you'll get a caution, and then guess what? I can get right back up there and pick up an extra lap.
So it's Toby Stent in the lead at the moment, with Daniel Heddershide behind him, and Matty Ray sitting in third, Mark Smith in fourth, Ruben Phelps fifth, sixth for Stevie Dub, Joe Schultz in seventh, eighth for Henderson, ninth for Anastakis, and Aidan Schultz in P10.
It's going to be interesting. We're going to have a Natari.
Yeah, front row. Yeah,
front
right.
row. Then we're going to have the 2 cars behind that will be SRM Australia. Mark Smith, Team Tweedy by himself, and Stevie Dubb, a DPR car by himself.
Yeah, we've got 2 teammates with 2, and as you said, a couple of solo drivers. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
I'm just trying to see where Kobe is in the field, because Jai is actually part of the Inside Lane production team, so he's there
15th
by
position,
himself.
1 lap down.
Yep, so he's going to be by himself too. So we've got two lots of teammates, and then 3 single car teams, team cars by themselves, and we've got all privateers behind that. So it's good to see the privateers having a good run up there.
Yeah, it is. Of course, Smithy leading the privateers. It's sensational. It'll be interesting to see. Of course, Toby Stent and Daniel Heddersheet are going to be in Discord together, so they're going to be talking to each other. They're going to be counting down. Mark, do we have the restart zone in use?
No, there's still an issue with it, so it's turned off. What they have to do is they have to enter the restart zone side by side, and it's up to the leader to decide when he's going to start the race.
Bunch up, lady.
Copy, which is mean exactly what will happen. So we're going to have teammates. They're not going to get a black flag regardless. Everything's good, and they're actually going to count down, do the 3, 2, 1, and you'll see them accelerate at identical times so they can try and slip in 1 and 2 in front of Matty Rabin, Mark Smith, and Rube Phelps.
Now, by the look at the way these guys are lined up, they can go to the outside as soon as that green flag drops.
Look at that jump from those 2 guys. I just said perfectly done.
And I think the officials may look at that restart post-race, because there was some breaches of the rule there. They're supposed to stay nose to tail until that green flag goes. They're not supposed to move out of their line until the green flag drops. And you could see a few cars there moving out of the line to try and get that jump.
I'm not going to say anything.
And if you didn't get the hint there, that's Mark saying he's definitely going to look at that post-race.
No, I actually don't do the race reviews anymore.
No, me neither. Mark and I no longer do the race reviews. We totally step aside.
Because it's unfair. We can see actually what's going on. So, but I know one of the race admin was there, and one of the league admin would have seen that happen. So,
yeah, well, I think Ruben Phelps is one of the admins who's going to be there, of course. So we've got everybody out there who is going to admin the race afterwards is 100% professional. Your Jamie Dankervis and so forth. Matty Ray is going to be there. So all decent blokes who will just call it as it is, and nobody's ever complained about a ruling yet.
there has been 1 or 2, but
Well, someone complained about being suspended for 12 months, which cost me a lot of money, but anyway.
But it's a good charge up the front. A good battle between Ruben and Matty Ray.
We've got Joe Schultz sitting back there as well in P5.
And again, just for the viewers, we've got Toby Stent, Daniel Heddersheet, the team members, Matty Ray and Ruben Phelps are team members. So 1 and 2 together, 3 and 4 together. So this is great stuff.
And in the mix there is Aidan Schultz. He's a lap down, so he's trying to race back to the front to get his lap back, and he's got every right to go on the hard charge if he's quicker.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, sorry, Carl. Yeah, Aidan, I said, was very unlucky earlier. I thought it was going to fall well for him, but just that caution came out just at the wrong time for Aidan, so he suffered that. But yeah, he's a lucky dog at the moment. He'll be fighting tooth and nail to hold that spot, I can tell you. I would like to be trying to get around Aidan to get the lucky dog off him.
Yeah.
Driver that
And the
is
other-
trying that at the moment is Joshua Carroll Walton in the 35. He's just behind Schultz, Aidan Schultz at the moment. He's got Jamie Curvis in tow as well. So that battle for P9 is definitely going to start heating up, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. Why JCW and Jamie Nankervis aren't teammates? They are an aligned teams. So they'll be talking to each other through their spotters and really trying to work Mark Smith over.
Yeah, they will. They are in the same Discord together. Basically, Jamie is a development driver for Ed Foster that we had commentating last week, and of course Ed drives with JCW. So there's some amalgamation there and everything, and they're in the same Discord, so they may as well be team members out there tonight. I'll tell you what, this is going to be good to watch. JCW, Aidan Schultz and Jamie there. Those 3 cars, where Wade's going to come up, will be sensational racing.
Will indeed. And it's closing up quite quickly, that gap as well. You can see here from Aidan Schultz. We'll jump on to... he's just vanished off the... This may be disastrous for Aidan Schultz. No, he's appeared out of the Never Realm. Just having a bit of a blink there for Aidan Schultz, and he has reappeared, thankfully. So I was about to say that could have been an anticlimax there.
100% Carl, we've seen Aidan in the past unfortunately get caught out with some bad internet connections, and we all know what it's like. We all live in this third world country, so yeah, glad to see you stayed solid and didn't get thrown out of the server.
So one person that is moving very quickly, and that's Ruben Phelps. He's closed right up on the back door of Daniel Heddersheet.
Yeah, he pulled nearly half a second ahead of his teammate there, on the same tyres as his teammate Matty Ray. So yeah, I said, Ruben matured over last season so much. He was always a fast driver, but now he's a thinking fast driver, which is very good, very deadly at times.
And you can see they're very close to each other. Really close racing, door to door. Daniel's trying to hold him up on that high line and not give him that, not letting him back down, because I think, and we touch there, and nice touch and rub, and they both keep on their way.
Yeah, Daniel will be quicker going into the corner just like that. Ruben will then get a nice run off the corner and try and get around him. It's whether he can hold it down and get around him on the inside, which is what he's going to try and do. Otherwise he's going to use up a fair bit of rubber trying to do it outside.
Yeah, and Toby will be saying, and they
touched. Absolutely. We were right there watching great camera work, Mark. Interesting to see what happens here.
Even better from Mark. He wasn't operating the cameras then. I mean,
yeah.
let's see. Look, let's just watch that from a different angle there, and that's dropped Heddersheet right off there. We just got to go. Oh,
Good save, Daniel.
Yeah, people heard there, I'm sure they heard the drivers say, good save Daniel, complimenting him on his ability as a driver to regather, because like that was probably the worst spot you want to get touched, in the worst position. It's a great drive.
we'll see that just here from we'll jump to the blimp, shall we? Just so we can get a really good view of that one. And a little bit of contact there, just bumps around, and you see Ruben's car gets sideways as well, not as much as Heddersheit's, and then Ruben will just try and correct him a little bit here, tries to spin him back in the right direction, give him a little bump forwards. He does that indeed, but Heddersheit's lost all of the momentum there, and it will start slowly falling back, and as you see, good save there by Daniel Heddershow. That's dropped him off the lead pack though for sure.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. And looking at that, I don't think anyone's going to blame anyone. I don't think Heddershot gave Ruben any room at all, and I think Ruben stayed down absolutely as far as he could. So, yep, it's just a racing deal to me, that one. That's a rubbing is racing.
Toby Stent, meanwhile, he has built up a 2.5 second lead at the front now. He is way out front. Just behind Ruben now is Stevie Dubb.
Surprise, surprise, DPR cars moved up there. No surprise at all. A lot of talent in that team, even though tonight he's operating solo. It's good to see Steve Dubb up there.
Veteran of the ovals with Matty Ray just behind him. That's a tantalising battle. Matty Ray, Stevie Dubb and Ruben Phelps.
Yeah, well, Stevie Dubb is one of the most experienced drivers in NASCAR in the Australian circuit that we have.
And just look behind them though, it's JCW, Jamie Nankervis, and Jai Schultz.
It is indeed, and Joshua Carroll-Walden is back on, he's on the one lap down. He is the first of the Lucky Dog competitors at the moment, so he's going to be pretty happy with his position.
He is, and as you said, you've got Jamie Nankervis behind him. He's a junior member of the team, so Jamie's not going to be trying to pass him. And they both got around, they worked as a team and got around Aiden Schultz. So this is exactly what we're talking about, team members working together, the benefit of it. So pretty well at the moment, all JCW's got to do is look at that front windscreen, because he's know the bloke behind him is not going to do anything wrong.
Looks like Matty Ray just running up a little bit high there. It looks like he's taken a slightly different line. We'll get on board with Joshua Carroll-Walden and watch this battle from his position.
Yeah, Carl, Matty Ray, just there through 1 and 2, looks like the old line we used to take. That's exactly what we used to do, the old line there. He was staying up high, which is really good. You don't need to back off as much, so you're a little bit slower in, but you're a lot quicker out of that corner because you maintain more momentum. Obviously, you've got a longer distance to have because you're on the outside. Like he's there, we see him going up high, but when he comes off that corner, he will have a lot more pull. As we can see now, he's pulling away with it at a different line.
15 laps to go here for the Australian Stock Car Championship, brought to you by Lucas Oil, of course. And just on the inside there, you see Jai Schultz just flying past Joshua Carroll-Walden. And Jai is he's going to be wanting to get up close to Matty Ray, because that's a battle for position at the moment. That's a P5 car getting into position there. And of course, we are here at Kentucky for the Kentucky 300, brought to you by Pluckers Racecraft.
I know you'd be happy to see Jai back up there in battling for top 5, mate, being a Toyota.
Yeah, it's good to see a Toyota back up there, and thanks Brett for letting me know I'm a little bit quiet there on the stream. Hopefully that is a bit louder.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. I wasn't going to comment there. We all know I was a Toyota salesman, but I drive a Chevy.
I think I'm sounding a bit fake just from being tired at the moment. It's been a long night tonight. Up a little bit further though, we've got some great racing happening. It's Jai Schultz now putting the moves on on Matty Ray. Sorry.
Yeah, well, let's be honest, Carl, you're the most experienced bloke there. You are carrying and teaching Mark and I, so we do appreciate the effort you put in. It's not always easy. As you said, you do a lot of commentary, and we do appreciate it. You're allowed to fade a little bit, buddy.
Indeed, and you'll have to do some extra work next week, because I will be away for a little bit of time, unfortunately. But hopefully we'll be coming back better, stronger after some spinal surgery. So hopefully I should be back to some full strength in the near future.
We've worn you down that much. We've created injury who's got to get surgery. We apologise.
That's it.
For the viewers,
having to carry Mark so much has really done my back in.
That's it. The arsenic's going into the chocolates.
Ruben's up to second place. Stevie Dubb, second place. Those two together trying to peg down Toby Stent. 2.3 seconds behind at the moment.
The real battles there is for fourth and fifth between Joy and Matty Ray. Every lap they seem to be changing lines. Matty will come down low and Joy will go up high, and then the next lap Matty's back up high and Joy's down on the low line.
Yeah, well, we're getting towards the end. We've only got 9 laps if we stay green, and you're not going to pass a guy by staying behind him. So they're looking for a weakness. If I go high, what does he do? If I go low, what does he do? This is all to set up something that's going to occur in the next 4 laps, Mark.
Yeah, and Stevie Dubby's now starting to look down on the low line on the inside of Ruben. So he may be set yet, and as I say that, he's trying to make the move underneath Ruben.
Yeah, and what will be in Rubes' head at the moment was that he got together with Daniel earlier. Rubes never drives like that. He would never intentionally get into somebody. So that's going to make Ruben, I believe, in my opinion, and Ruben drove me last year, just a little bit more non-aggressive. He's just going to back off that little bit sooner than he would if he was just running 100% confidence.
Yeah, and Joy has made the move on Matty Ray for fourth. So we'll see how aggressive Joy is. I know we've had a chat through the week, and he's really turned his driving around tonight. He's been less aggressive at the start of the race and really coming on strong on the second half of the race, and it's good to see that he's still here and thereabouts at the end of the race and battling for those top 5s.
Yeah, I hope he has a solid finish, because I think it'll be a good indicator to him that he doesn't need to be as aggressive on lap 10 or 15 of 200. Be there at the end, which is a great thing. I mean, we all know he's got ability, but it just has at times showed a little bit of impatience, wanting to get to the front, in the first 10 laps, and now look at him, he's right up there towards the end of the 200.
Yeah, and I know his team boss, Kobe, will be wrapped with another top 5 for him, and representing the team very well of the inside line production.
Yeah, for sure. I've been watching him tonight a lot, Joe. I think he's done a great race. Really a credit to him tonight's race. It just demonstrates his true ability he's always had. Just needed to show a little bit more patience, which he's shown tonight. Maybe the conversation with you helped.
Yeah, and talking about driving away with things, Toby Stent now has a 2.6 gap over Ruben Phelps in second place.
Amazing. That's there you go. That is an amazing pull-out. 2.7, nearly 3 seconds lead.
Well, when you think about it, though,
Yeah, I'm not trying to battle for position neither, mate.
Toby has really started this 2023 season off in the Australian Stock Car Championships, both here and with Ann's car, and he won the clash at the Coliseum. So he's done well. He started great with Ann's car, and it looks like he's going to pick up his first win here with the Weekend Warriors. Yeah,
and absolutely. And again, teammate of Ed Foster. So, he pierces brilliance, let's be honest. So he's got so much to draw upon, and he's good on him. He's earned everything he's doing.
Yeah, definitely. I do know that Ed may make a few appearances this year, but he has wanted to take a step back a little bit. He's running our 87s on Sunday afternoon, and he's still the man to beat in the 87s. So good on him. And yeah, as you said, Brad, he deserves everything he's getting at the moment. He's been doing this for a lot of years.
This
Yes,
battle
and
for
a
P2,
big shout
sorry
out
boys,
to
is really starting to heat up. They're catching on Ruben, and Jai Schultzen's about to make a move on Stevie Double. Got 3 laps to go.
This is where Ed shined last week with his commentary as they're getting down to the finish. Just the excitement in his voice, everything else. I want to see him back in the booth. This is amazing. There's 3 cars, nose to tail. Who's going to make a move? What are they going to do to get around each other? We've got someone going low there. Stevie Dubb going low, trying to work. It's amazing.
And it's Jai Schultz moving up into P3. He's working very well here in this latter stage. He's getting in behind Ruben Phelps now. Toby Stent, 2 laps to go up the front. He has got a nice bit of a gap, but the battle is here for P2, 3 and 4. It's Jai Schultz versus Ruben Phelps for P2 at the moment. Can Stevie Dub come back to this battle with Matty Ray? They're sitting off the back at the moment, but looks like they've just about given as much as they can as the white flag is coming out, and it is Toby Stent who is going to be coming home to take this victory. We will ride with him as he comes up here to the checkered flag, and it's Toby Stent coming across the line to take victory here at Kentucky.
Yeah, and all the guys having to stay nose to tail. We had Matty Raymond driving hard into that corner. Lost a bit of time there trying to catch up to Stevie Dub, but it was worth a go, so nobody lost positions, but it was good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And Carl, I do believe this may be the biggest win of the season over the three leagues we're involved with, being ASCC,
Well done, Toby.
Weekend Warriors, and the Australasian Super E-Car Series.
Thanks, guys. This is actually my first ever weekend.
For Toby Stent, yeah, it is his first win in Weekend Warriors. We'll let them talk over the radio a little bit. As they decide to go quiet now.
That's a long race when your race gets ruined about 6 laps in by other people. Yeah, it sucks. Happens to the best of us.
Good race, Nathan.
Yeah, same, Harry. That was fun at the end, mate.
I just didn't know what to do with Mark. He was fighting with Daniel ahead, so...
And that is Toby Stent doing a very good job at burnouts. He is new to the series, he's new to Weekend Warriors Winners Circle, but he is doing a great display of the burnout and donuts here at Kentucky.
He is, but I can tell you he's obviously not new to racing. Sensational drive, did everything right. Finishing order, we had Toby Stent first, Ruben Phelps second, Jai Schultz third. Good on him for picking up the podium. Great stuff to Jai, well done. Stevie Dub, Matty Raymond, Daniel Heddersheed, Mark Smith.
Oh, if you give me a second, I'll bring up the actual finishing order.
No, all good.
You're running ahead of me there, Brad. Like,
no, not at all. Just good to see Rubes and Jai and everybody. Stevie Dub finishing up there, Matty Ray. Nice stuff.
There we go. The finishing order is up on screen now if you want to run through that finishing order.
Well, I could just repeat myself. I had to go Toby Stent, followed Ruben Phelps, Jai Schultz, Stevie Dub, Matty Ray, Daniel Heddersheed and Mark Smith, and Brenton Heddersheed. Who else we got? We got Mark Smith on the lead lap. We got Brenton Henderson on the lead lap. Everybody else from Jamie Nankervis down, 1 lap down. So good on the guys.
Yeah, it was Jamie Nankervis in 9th and Joshua Carroll Walden in 10th. Mark, if you want to run through the rest of the field.
Yeah, I just jumped up the duck out.
Brad, you can do it if you want.
I will duck through the rest of the field. Okay, for the rest of the field, as I said, we had Jamie Nankervis there, 1 lap down. JC in 9th, JCW in 10th, 1 lap down. Kai Turner, 1 lap down in 11th. We've got Nathan Button, 1 lap down in 12th. We've got Perry Anastakis.
Yeah.
Thank you. 1 lap down in 13th. KB Jordan, 1 lap down 14th. Brad Fenley, 1 lap down 15th. Aidan Schultz, 1 lap down 16th. Jake Saddington, 2 laps down 17th, followed by Adam Ariel in 18th. Ross Chisholm, 19th. Nigel Patton rounding out the top 20.
And then we roll over 21st, it's Reese May with Derek Jacobs in 22nd. Tristan Koch came home 23rd with 24th Jason Nicholas. Noddy Tompkins in 25th, 26th for Russell Bratka. Adam Malone 28th. Ryan Anderson 28th, even 29th for Adam Tice. And Brett Campbell in 30th. Dave Douglas 31st, 32nd for Urquio. And Peter Gretton did not take the grid. Whew, big race there.
So, yeah, I think Peter might have had some mechanical issues, so he couldn't take the grid. But yeah, good to see him turn up and try at least.
Absolutely good to see from everybody, and a big race there from everybody. And look, it's been a long night tonight. A lot of racing, which is what we love to see.
Yeah, definitely great racing. Bit of a turnaround from last week, where we seen a lot of our cautions in the middle of the race, and tonight we had a good green green flag run and seen the real battle heat up towards the end. And unfortunately, on the older tyres, you're starting to get a bit loose, and a few cautions to close the field back up.
Absolutely. And Mark, I might leave the interviews up to you tonight if that's okay.
Yep, no worries. So we will pull up.
We do have Jai Schultz there, our third place getter. He's in the waiting there in the waiting room, so we can pull him up now. We'll congratulate him for his drive.
Hey, there, Joy.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. See, I did remember, and I got your name right tonight. Congratulations on third place, mate.
Cheers, thank you.
Some great driving. Like you're a little bit quiet early on, and in that second half of the race, you really battled through on that alternate strategy with the pit stops.
Yeah, I kind of figured earlier I didn't have quite the pace outright to battle for the lead, but if I try my alternate strategy that hardly ever works, I might have a chance. So yeah, things were going good until the first caution came out, and then I was a bit worried because by the time I was looking pretty good for a third, still had nothing for Toby and Daniel up front at that stage. But yeah, it seemed to work out tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Tyre wear tonight. Any issues there, or you had plenty of tyres by my mistake in the race setup. Did you have any in the bank, or did you use them while you had them?
Yeah, I came in and took my second last set out of that second caution for the run to the flag, and then had one more up my sleeve just in case we had a late caution. Yeah, I think my third stint, I ran the fuel tank out, so that definitely helped having the tyre bank towards the end of the race.
Yeah, definitely, mate. We were all commenting on your driving this year, the start of the year. It's improved over the races that we've seen you in last year, and you seem to be improving every time you come out. What are the team owners' thoughts? Like Kobe, do you guys get together and do some practice and different things through the week?
Don't do too much practice, just because I'm kind of chuck myself in the deep end with the Oval League kind of thing. I'm doing multiple leagues in the Oval kind of ranks, both in Australia and America. So kind of spending a lot more time in the NASCARs, and all three kind of tiers are definitely helping me learn and get somewhere. But yeah, definitely having the feedback from Kobe and all the guys from Inside Lane and LCR has definitely helped, and the support from Platinum Racing as well.
Yeah, definitely. Brad, anything quick?
Jai, just from my opinion, mate, one of the best drives I've seen you do. Like, not just the car, you used your head tonight, man. It was a really smart racing. I was saying all night, I was quite confident you were definitely going to get on the podium. It was a great drive. You lived up to what I expected of you. Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, Jai. Off to Homestead next week. Will we see you there for another nice long run?
Yeah, definitely see me there, but might have to actually do some practice to see if I can ride that wall at Homestead.
Well, mate, congratulations on third place. But before we go, before we let you go, shout out to your sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, just quick shout out to both Platinum Racing and Inside Lane LCR teams. As I said before, a lot of support from all of those guys. JDRF, Kookaburra Cafe, Phones and Stuff, Pilger Gaming Hub, Inside Lane Productions and Inside Lane Digital, Chops Remote Tech Support, and I think that's it.
All right, mate. Well, congratulations on the third place, and we'll see you at Homestead next week.
Too easy. See you then.
See you, mate. We'll pull up.
Yeah, number 2 place getter, Ruben Phelps.
Yeah, Ruben, congratulations, mate, on second place tonight.
Yeah, cheers, guys. It was bloody a long one. I was buggered pretty much near the whole race, but I was fine.
Yeah. We seen Toby run away with that in the end. Do you think you had anything for him if you weren't battling so hard with Jai? And and Stevie Dub?
To be fair, I think I was already sort of fell behind when it comes to Daniel and Toby there. I think they definitely had the strongest package as the whole race was playing out. But obviously, I had a bit of extra tyre there at the end by doing an extra pit stop, which I still had a set left. So I thought obviously this is a time to go just in case there's another random yellow, maybe 15, 10 laps later. So I'll try and get some track position because I lost it when I made that pit stop when that yellow came out. So, but no, the race was good. Definitely had no pace on the long run. The car got tighter and tighter as the race runs, so I couldn't quite get that tyre or rear tyre to actually get a bit more rotation. But other than that, I mean, I know there was a bit of a situation with Daniel, but I know you will ask me about that in a minute, so we'll work on that shortly. But no, Toby had that race win pretty much, and I had nothing for him, so good win for him.
Yeah, well, you've breached on it, so now I'm going to ask, what in your view, what happened there with Daniel?
Well, obviously, as you do, it's racing, but I mean, there was a couple of good like side to side stuff and trying to get past him, and of course a few lane changes every now and then, and just was one swing too many, and I just sort of put my nose in there, and that was it.
Fair enough, mate. We spoke about the tyre bank. You had plenty of tyres. How'd your tyre wear go?
Yeah, no, I wasn't too good on the right front. Like I said, the car got quite tight as the race sort of went through. So I sort of had to back up the corners a lot more and more. I couldn't quite run the centre or what I would have preferred. But like I still was pretty fast. It's just obviously managing it throughout the run was just a bit harder as we went. So of course I was trying to, at the start I was just obviously taking it easy and let the sort of race sort of play out, and then trying to see if I can get to that 66 lap mark on the fuel, which it was just like a couple of laps here and there short. So that's when I thought, well, with me and obviously the team of Maddie and that all suggesting it, we should probably maybe half it. So we decided to pit 140, which probably could have got to 155 or something by this stage, but the tyres were gone, so we decided to split it. And then as soon as I make a last pit stop, the yellow comes out, and that's the third race that I've had to do this year where I've pitted and a yellow comes out and I have to try and fight my way back. So it's like, just having a bad luck on that. But all is good though. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Brad, anything quick?
Absolutely. Ruben, congratulations, buddy. Pole position, man. Great stuff. Led to the opening laps. Pleasure to watch, of course. I did comment even during the stream about you've had some bad luck, which is exactly what happened tonight with that yellow flag again. But, man, you get out there and you drive your butt off, and it's great to watch. Congratulations, mate, on second place. I know you would like to bring it home on the top position of the podium, but, man, it was a terrific drive. Great to watch. I can't preempt what the race admins are going to say, but I don't think you've got a thing to worry about. I think you were pinched down well and truly.
To be fair, it's called racing, and if I get pinged for it, it's what it is. That's exactly how I'm going to run the rest of the year, to be fair. So, so if someone hits my bumper, I give it back. It's pretty simple.
Rubes, I've seen it now 3 times in slow motion, man, and you had nothing wrong to do. He was pinching it out big time, and that's, like you said, rubbing his racer. This is NASCAR, you know. This is what we do.
Exactly. It's no rules when it comes to the bumper or anything like that, or blocking. So, yeah, pretty much things happen, and that's all I'm going to say. But no, the race was good, and yes, that's pretty much it.
Well done, buddy. Should move you up in some points, which is great.
Exactly, especially after last week. Got involved in a wee incident, and I lost it last week, and cost myself a top 10 result after trying to wind back twice. So it was eventful, but now second place I'm happy with.
Back to you, mate.
All right, mate. Well, congratulations on second place. Shout out to your teammates, sponsors, and supporters.
Well, first, I've got to shout out SRM, Maddie Ray of his Brenton Anderson, and Lockie. Unfortunately, Lockie and Russell got involved in some very early incidents, which cost them, of course, Noddy and course, you got to thank Mobile Brake and Mechanical Repairs for what they do, and Moondog, which is there, and of course Lockie's work is Murphy's Mitre 10, and of course Brendan Henderson's AAF as Australian Alopecia, I don't know how to say it, Foundation, and the Tourette's Syndrome Association of Australia for Lockie.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you guys for the stream as per usual.
No worries, mate. We're at Homestead next week, so hopefully we're talking to you again there next Saturday night from Homestead.
Yeah, it should be another good one.
All right, mate. Thank you very much, and congratulations again on second place.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
So we will bring up a race winner, Mr. Toby Stent. Congratulations, Toby, and welcome to the booth.
Hello. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It was good fun, actually. Well, no, it was a little bit boring in the middle, but no, I don't know. I just had good pace and was just having fun, I guess, just driving.
Yeah, well, mate, you've come into the Australian NASCAR scene, and we'll touch on your win with ANSCAR at the Coliseum. A couple of great results and not so great results with ANSCAR. But your first win with the Warriors tonight, so you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I was wondering if it had ever come, to be honest, because I've been in a few good positions and had stuff happen, and yellow's not for my way, and obviously I thought it was sort of heading that way as well tonight at the end there, sort of, especially as you're counting down last 10 laps, last 5 laps, you're like, man, if there's a late yellow, then you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? You come in to take tyres, everyone else stays out. Come to take tyres, then everyone else comes to take tyres, you take 2, everyone else takes 4, do you take 4, everyone else takes 2. You're kind of screwed as the leader, so I was just counting down like, oh man, I really want to get it done, because I've done a few races here now, and I really wanted to get a win off my chest here, so finally bloody did it, and so I'm stoked on that. And then with the ANSCAR stuff, like you said, went alright at the Coliseum. Daytona had internet issues, and then went good at Auto Club. And then last week just got caught up in someone taking out a lap car, and the seas parted in front of me, and there was just a stopped car. I couldn't do anything. So it's unlucky there, but I mean, obviously, I'm kind of going alright at the same time, so I can't complain too much.
That last caution, mate, on the restart, you must have been looking in your mirror, rubbing your hands together. We're seeing those guys battle behind you and allowing you to get that nice little gap. It was out to 2.5 seconds at the end.
Yeah, I reckon I had them covered anyway, just on the longer run. I figured just my tyre wear was a little bit better. So I wasn't really too worried, to be honest. It was only like maybe 5 or 6 laps difference in the tires, and there was a few yellow laps in there as well. So I knew that obviously they'll battle hard, everyone's going to battle hard, so I just had to put my head down and just not miss the bottom in 1 and 2. I just sort of nailed that every lap, and I knew if I nailed that, I'd be sweet. So when Ruben turned Daniel, obviously it sucked because I wanted Daniel to be there, being my teammate, and we were working together the sort of whole race. So it really sucked for him. But obviously that opened the gap a little bit more, and it was sort of just, like I said, just make sure I don't miss the bottom in 1 and 2, and don't overdrive 3 and 4, and I knew I'd be sweet. So it was just worrying about that last late caution if that came. That was sort of a scary thing, and counting down the laps, and I was just trying to run as fast as I could at the end, and like using the apron the last couple of laps to try and just get as fast laps as I could to try and get to that white. So once I got to the white, I was obviously pretty stoked, and got to get it done. So finally, like you said, first one, so finally got it off my chest, and I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Anything there that you like to add, Brad?
Oh, just congratulate Toby, of course, on his first win with the Weekend Warriors. Thanks for coming on board. Great to see you have a win. I guess the exciting part is you are third in the championship. We know it's only race 2 behind Darren McKenzie and Daniel Heddersheet. So it'll be interesting when everything falls on the ground and everyone looks at everything, whether you end up in first or second place in the championship, Toby.
Oh, that's a long way to go. Definitely not thinking about that. And to be honest, I never really think about that sort of thing anyway. I just kind of take every race that comes and just do the best job. And as long as I do a good job, I don't make any stupid mistakes and put myself in any stupid positions, then I come away happy, right? So whether it's a win or a 5th place or a 10th or even 20th place, whatever, as long as I do a good job, I'm happy. And if I can do a good job every week, then I should be there or thereabouts, whether it's at the front of the championship or the top 5 or top 10 or whatever. I've just got to not make mistakes, really, and everything will sort of look after itself from there. So that's the key.
Yeah, terrific. Great drive. Congratulations again. To be back to you, Mark.
Yeah, well, mate, Homestead next week. Hopefully we're talking to you again next week from the Homestead Victory Lane. Before we let you go, shout out to sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, just the Atari guys, really, and the Black Arrows as well, obviously. Good guys there, so we're all driving together, so big shout out to them. And the Golden Octopus Foundation, which is a foundation in Australia that would be great if people sort of checked out online. It's a cancer research foundation, and obviously if anyone's in the position where they could give a little, then that's obviously always much appreciated for any of those charities, because we're all here having a good time on the computer games, but there are obviously many people in the world struggling with all sorts of different things, so just got to think about the people that are in much worse positions than us. So big shout out to them and all those foundations that do awesome work like them.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well, congratulations again, mate, on your win tonight, and we'll see you at Homestead, Miami next week.
Yep, I'll be there. I will be there, and hopefully, try and stay top 20 in points, so I don't have to pre-qualify. That's the goal. We'll see how we go.
There,
all right, mate. Thanks for your time tonight.
Well, thanks for the broadcast, guys. It's always a great product to watch back on, so appreciate you guys as well.
No worries. We'll see you next week.
Yep, awesome. Cheers, legends.
Well, there you go, Mark. Round 2, done and dusted. Another sensational round. Apologies, obviously, for a little bit of the hiccups in the early broadcasting stuff, but we're getting there. I'm sure it won't happen week to week. So, great stuff, great race. I mean, they're long races. We know that. People watching, we realise there are periods where it's quiet, not much seems to be happening, but the strategies and the watching, it's fantastic. Yeah,
definitely. Well, Carl, another great night of racing. Got some interesting racing coming up this week.
We do indeed. We will be heading to the Australasian Supercar E Series tomorrow night, and I've completely forgotten which track it is. I think it might be Rockingham.
I think it is Rockingham by memory. There's
Yep.
too many calendars in my head.
I know, this is the problem. You'll have to forgive me, as I've not got any of my usual screens that I can open up at the moment because of the stream, obviously. And then we will be heading off on Monday night to the trucks here on Checkered Flag e-streaming, and that will be at COTA. So a street circuit, or a road circuit, of course, at COTA, a very different challenge for all the drivers. And then we'll be back on Wednesday for the Thunder, and of course the Cup Series will be back on Thursday night, and Weekend Warriors, of course, will be back at Homestead next Saturday, so we hope you can all join us there.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we can get these little gremlins sorted out from our broadcast stuff. And mate, on a personal note, going into hospital next week. Hope everything goes well for you. And we do have a special lineup in the broadcast booth next Saturday night. But I'm not going to say anything until next Saturday night. You'll be away for 2 weeks and getting well, and hopefully you come back stronger and all upright, mate.
No, absolutely. I look forward to watching it in my hospital bed next week. And a big thank you to Mark, of course, and Mr. Brad Allison joining us up here in the booth tonight. I am, as ever, Mr. Carl Wilkinson with you, and we will see you all again very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and good night all.